No problem.
And we live.
Sod it.
Sod it.
So I do.
What's happening?
Oh, the usual. Working too much.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, I
It does
just
taste
had.
tastes a little weedy. It's like super hoppy, which I kind of like it. But I do want to smoke some pot. I really should smoke some pot. My fucking stress level is like.
Why so high?
Mine's up there.
There's so much work you do. Got too much.
Tell me about it. Oh my
Fuck you.
God.
Like, I don't know, I've been doing like fucking 12 and 15-hour days. Like for fucking a couple weeks before I went on my little tiny fucking 5-day vacation. But like, since I got back, it's been like fucking, I get here at 4 and 5 and 6 a.m. and I was here at like 6 today. And so I'll be here till 8. When we call it a fucking 7:30, 8 o'clock limit on this one. So I can go home and sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, my stress level's up there too with that deal I told you about. I'm not going to say anything yet public, but
we're live, just so you know.
I know, but I won't go
Okay.
any further than that. But it happened, and it's double the size that we were expecting order-wise. So that's good. It also means we have to come up with more money because it's on like a net 60 situation.
That's what John did to me. John was like, I'm gonna order 2 or 3 of all of these. My first order with John, right? And I was like, okay. But some of them he ordered 7.
Yeah, we got that. And then Sky High is also making a pretty big T-shirt order, so there's that. And
Very
then
cool.
there's all the restock for Slam. And then all the logistics stuff for Slam. I did get the house already. I booked the truck. I've got tires on the way for the trailer. I got to do that. And then the Explorer. So my buddy Dan, who you've met, Dan Cantrell, like I told you, the only guy that really touched my shit because he's just so good. Really, I rely on him, to be honest. And he came by to see what we're working with, to how we're going to stuff 9 amps in this thing and still keep the 3 Gately amps in there and not really have to. So I think we came up with a pretty good plan. We're going to use the rack that you and Steve made, and then we are going to basically keep your 3 amps where they are, the 3 mids and highs up top. And then at the bottom, he's got a 3D printer. He's really in depth and all that stuff. So he's going to build some brackets, or he's going to make some stuff. Then we're going to plasma them out of steel, and then they're going to basically bolt on to your rack that you made, and then that's going to hold the other 3 stacks of 3 in a spot.
Are you gonna do anything to reinforce that back wall? Can you add some braces like on the inside of the box from the center and bring them down to like between the subs or something?
Yeah, so I think there could be one reason why that was happening. It may be not necessarily because the back wall was flexing so much, but I don't have the middle of that amp rack bolted down. I only have it bolted down on the top and the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
So
you might be okay just doing that, but yeah. But when you have it apart and you're doing the thing, then do that too, and maybe add braces just because.
I will bolt it down more, and then I'm gonna do bracing too. I'm gonna get some of the ones that Jim has. Jim has those.
Same.
That'll be fucking awesome.
Do you think I need to make like a bigger plate for the bottom of those braces, or use? It just seems like it's not enough surface area for where. I mean, all braces that I look at, it just doesn't seem. I don't know. The brace like you have in the Raiden is a little bit different because it has a ton of surface area and it has a, you know what I mean.
All kind of stuff.
Like a little steel plate like this big is not really going to do what you want it to do. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, what do you mean? What are you bracing the inside of the box?
Yeah. So on certain frequencies, there's one certain amp on that row of amps that was moving.
Yeah.
Moving quite a bit. So it's either from that middle section not being bolted down and it just resonating just right, or that back wall is flexing, which I find it hard to believe that it'd be flexing, but
I mean, maybe, but no, that's what I was like leading into. Like
It's got to
how
be
much
a
are the
little
brakes even going to
something.
help?
It has to be flexing a little bit. Otherwise, it wouldn't add that amplified wiggle. Now, I bet if you mounted the center of the fucking amp rack, it would be way more solid.
Yeah.
And we would see less of that. But
Yeah.
but I'll tell you what, like when I show people how strong those amp racks are and how strong the amps are, when I grab the amps and I shake the truck around, I flex the amp, the amplifier, the whole heat sink, everything. And so it it's getting a little bit of resonance there, and it's being amplified by the amplifier and the amp rack together. But I mean, we were seeing that thing floppy around 3/8 of an inch.
it was towards the end of the show, and it was on, like I said, just one certain song.
That's
Yeah,
what my Tahoe was.
got it really going. I was like, man, like somebody,
Yeah.
I was like, why is this here? And I pulled the rag out, and I
Yeah, I
was
put
like,
towels
they
in
just
there.
tucks that in there, and like they were wiping something down, and they're like, I put this here, and I'm like, that seems dumb. And they're like, oh, and I was like, you guys think that's gonna touch that? And they were like, yeah, and I'm all fucking show me that. And then like a little later, you were playing it, and I was like, God damn! And they were that one particular amp.
Just one amp, yeah.
Fucking moving. But I like stuck my finger in between them and it wasn't touching my finger. But it looks like it's like, oh, it might hit. And I'm like, Jesus, that'd be the amp moving a fucking inch and a half. So it's like
No, I
moving
stuck
a little,
the
but a
towels in
little
there.
looks like a fucking lot when it's the edge of the amp. And I know that that's
No,
not
I
okay
put
for that amp doing that.
I put the towels in there just to put some pressure on it, more or less. Than
Right. It's just a little something.
I wasn't trying to get it to stop hitting the other amp. I knew it wasn't going to hit the other amp, but just trying to, wedge it in there so it wasn't moving.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
so I
Tahoe
think we
amp
got
rack used to the amps used to gyrate on the amp rack just the whole time it was built. It wasn't secured down right, and we made the amp rack 5 or 6 years ago before me and someone else made it, and we definitely made it in a very shitty way. Made it very hard to work on. Not that it was very strong, but because of how it was built, we couldn't mount the amps in a strong way. So this time, I got that good shit.
Yeah, I'm debating on the next amp rack for once I guess there's going to be another iteration after this, because once get all the amps and that good stuff, I might build the amp rack to not have it mounted on the back wall at all. Might just do like a couple bars that go from side to side and weld those to the side of the car and then just build up.
I don't have a clue how we're going to get amps in the wagon. I don't have a fucking clue yet. Well, I have an idea. I lied. I have an idea. I just don't know. It's going to make sense.
What you say? I got a question for you regarding my front stage. My low end kicks, but the shit out of my front stage, which I'm okay with. Well, adding 2 mid range in my kicks make my front stage. Well, what is in your front stage right now?
Yeah, and how much power? How much are you running? What's in your low end? What vehicle is it?
What's the whole system?
Yeah, just
what DSP are you using? How much power you're? What amplifier? Not what. I needed to stop asking how much power people were running and start asking them what amplifier they're using. That was one of my new questions that, like, because I've been saying how much power you're running, how much power you're running, how much power you're running. People are like 3,000, and they're like, it's like a 3,000 watt Boss amp or some shit, and I'm like, oh no, you have a 900 watt amplifier.
Yeah, lucky. Or it's a Salt 3 wired to 0.3.
Yeah,
or a
yeah,
Salt 3
like,
wired to 2. Like, that's 2 whole different 3Ks, bud.
Yeah. Salt 3 will make about 3,700 watts at 1 ohm at 13 volts.
I want people to pull the head out their ass and realize that just because they have a 7K wired to a sub, that doesn't mean that sub is taking 7,000 watts all the time.
God, no, bro, my 7K, my DNR fucking ZDX takes that shit all fucking day, bro.
They clamp it when they meter
7K.
They clamp it when they meter it and it does a big number, and they think that it does that all the time on music. Like, bro, it doesn't. It doesn't. Stop it.
But Brian, for real, we aren't sidetracked. We're waiting.
Oh
for
yeah,
you
no, yeah. We're waiting
on
for your reply
with all of that information. Like, give us a breakdown of your audio system in your vehicle, and we'll talk about that thing the whole rest of the show if you're not careful.
Would 8/8 in my door be enough? I got 2 6x9s in the bag banging. Yeah.
Is that a Harley?
He's trolling.
Yeah. Becker.
It depends what 6x9s are they like the
Are they Cracos or what? Are they Sparkomatics? What we got?
yeah? Or didn't Boston make a set of 6x9 subs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys
They're
are
pretty
they
cool.
those? That might be different.
Kicker used to make some really nice 6x9 subs. And remember the Polk? Remember that funky Polk sub that had 4 6x9 subs in an ISO bandpass? It was a fourth order with isobaric, and it had the ports on either side. And it was this like funky shaped fucking thing. They made it out of cardboard. I'm sorry, it was from like 1990.
Who makes it? Who made it?
Polk. It was when Polk was dope as fuck.
6x9 fourth order.
My favorite April
Oh,
Fool's
they didn't
this
tell
year?
you what was in it. You had to like crack that shit open and find it. It was I can't remember.
I found it. Holy shit. Let me look. I've never even seen this thing in my life. Hold on. Let me pull it up.
I saw one and it fucking absolutely hammered. It was fucking
this
badass.
thing, right?
Yep. The other side of that was like
it just looks like this.
It was like half an ellipse kind of. There it is.
Like this.
That's it. Yeah. Absolute fucking banger. You'd run like fucking 500 watts that thing, and until like modern years, nothing had as much output as that with that little power and that little space. It was fucking badass.
Hell yeah. So what was your favorite April Fool's post or whatever?
Oh, Blake fucking dominated.
I know.
Blake wins.
Which is exactly what he wants to hear. Which is fine.
Me and Allie were fucking dying. I was like, look, babe, look. And she's like, oh, that's that guy. And I'm all, yeah. And she's like, I met him at thing. I'm like, he watches the show every week. He's one of our guys. We had him on the show, the whole fucking thing. She's like, oh, that's right.
My first thought was Bobby would put that under her seat.
And I'm like, looking at him, look at the woofer. I bet that motherfucker works.
But my first thought was,
is that a functional woofer, Blake? Does that thing work? Can you make that work? Can you show us that fucking thing? Like throw a signal at it.
Make it work, and then send it to Bobby so he can put it under a seat.
Yeah,
that was my first thought was Bobby would put that under a seat.
For sure. No,
just
fucking Chris Pate would put that under a fucking seat. Fire that motherfucker right at the floor. Be good to go.
Hey, have you thought about
stage 47? Fucking it's not under the back seat. It's under all the fucking seats. Like
all of them.
Yeah, it's like all of them. You're like, it's under. It's the front center console. It's the rear center console. It's both fucking front seats. The whole shit. Like that's fucking funny.
You want to grab a picture?
Bobby, have you thought about making an isobaric box like that for
it's
trucks?
The new DDZ Slim mount.
Make an isobaric box for anything because our subwoofers are okay. So the Kicker Solo Barrack, and this was literally described to me by somebody from Kicker 27 years ago.
Tell you what, we'll watch the video.
All right, here's a fucking comp fucking 12, and if you take 2 of them and you put them fucking isobaric, you can get a little better performance in less space with twice the power. So that's the Solo Barrack. It was one sub that had double the motor force, double the fucking goddamn cone mass, double the power handling.
Boom, loud.
Amongst other fucking things that I'm not smart enough to repeat because my memory's fucked up because 27 years and I'm old and my brain is old. So fuck you. And that's a fantastic picture of Blake right there.
I know.
Have you guys ever wanted to see a Z4 merge with an SL612? This right here is the SL Z432. You know, it's 32 inches wide, has a Z4 motor, 4-inch voice coil, 6,000 watts of power handling. I mean, you guys can see it's really short, so you can fit it just about anywhere, like on the roof of your car. If you were only a few inches tall, you could put this under your seat and still use it. The box it needs is only about the size of a refrigerator, so you could put it into your kitchen really easily. And of course, this is rated for 6,000 watts RMS, and it's got an FS of only 15 hertz. So
Now
if you wanted to use it to talk to whales or to tell the mole people to stop stealing your turnips, it would work great for that. And of course, with 40 millimeters of one-way excursion, it can move for days, way more than any other shallow driver on the planet. We're already sold out of the first run, but you can go to our website and you'll be able to sign up for the raffle that'll let us know if you're allowed to be able to pre-order the next run.
You could pause it on that zoom in. See that? I was like, that. They fucking.
Bro, that was DD always has good ones, and Kicker always has pretty good ones.
Really? I didn't see a Kicker one. What do we got?
This year I don't know if they had anything good this year, but whatever year they had the couch was so good that it transcends every other year.
They did have one this year. I don't remember what it was.
I got
Oh, yeah.
Ryan, we're still waiting for you, buddy. Come on, give us that info.
Yeah, that's what they did. Yeah, and then they somebody else did. I think.
Yeah, I would have believed that. That shit's looking fucking HAL 9000 as fuck right there.
those are real though. No.
Oh yeah, that's.
Well, it's on the website. Known as the big. Why can't I buy it?
Out of stock.
It has specs. I love it. This is a functional sub. This is a functional sub. I don't believe him anymore. There's a Vast 1100.
Shit.
Below the product specs, there's a whole thing of it.
Bobby, did you release
really
another
cold.
picture? Did you release another picture of the cage thing that you made?
I think I did. I think I let Allie turn her loose on some of that info.
I saw it on Base RS, or I think.
Oh no, those are the other pictures. He stole those too.
Okay.
Yeah, he's kind of a shitbag.
I know he is.
Yeah,
it just happened to
shared
pop up.
a picture of me. He shared a picture of me standing on the back of the Raiden truck, and was like, "Follow my personal page." And then I clicked it, and like at a glance, he kind of looks like me, like in his videos, like the way his beard looks, and he's kind of small and kind of stocky, and he's like a power lifter guy. And I'm like, okay, like, yeah, he's a bitch.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
beat my ass then. And I'm
just...
like, dude, I don't give a fuck what you lift. I will fuck you up, son. Like, you will wake up in a puddle of piss, motherfucker. You will not. Like, you fucking.
I mean, he might be into that, bro.
He might, and that's okay, because then maybe you give me a couple $100 when he wakes up.
That's right.
It'd probably be his piss, though. I'm just saying. When you choke people out, they sometimes piss themselves.
So I saw a post a little while ago of Jim posted in the Bamboo group talking about he wants the Bamboo app to display it'll show you a list of all your printers, and he wants it to display like their status because it doesn't. And I was like, damn. Then I'm like, this is only a person who has 10 printers a problem. I can just look at mine.
We went like a week and a half, and I printed like 2 little things, and then now it's been like a week and a half where it has just been printed, all 3 of them.
I printed this 2 days ago,
and it's still hot. It must have just finished. But yeah.
I printed this, and it looked like shit, but it printed fast, so it's kind of all I needed. It'll work for now.
What is it?
It looks like it kind of melted.
It goes hot. It's a plate.
What are you
Changed,
usually using ASA?
So yeah, normally I do. This was PLA just to get it done, and I'm just gonna leave it in there for like a week or two, and then print nice versions when I get home.
See.
So that's what the angle started at,
Yeah.
and that's where it finished. Basically, back to how it was.
So were you able
It goes
to?
pretty well, but I really like the way ABS prints for me. I've been
Mhm.
most happy with ABS. Also, if I know that I'll smell ABS, and if I smell ABS, I know that I'm breathing the toxic shit. And ASA, you won't smell it; you'll just huff that shit.
Drew, to find that angle, what'd you do? Did you just keep moving it, or did you kept the build pod after pod, or what'd you do?
So I'm gonna go. I'll go grab some photos, and I'll be able to explain what I was looking at. I'll bring this down for now.
Did you end up putting a bunch more foam around that?
Yeah. I'll show some photos of how they sit currently. We'll circle back to it. I'm gonna go grab some data.
Bobby, I've got 32 6.5 sitting in my hallway over here. What are you gonna do with those?
I'm probably gonna have you ship them back to me.
Give them to the elderly.
We are all out other than those, and also I'll sell them at a little bit of a discount.
If you
we are
want
all
to
out
sell
at door
them,
4. Yeah.
What do you use to ship? What service?
Typically UPS, but we can use FedEx. We have a FedEx account as well.
You don't use USPS at all?
I try my best not to.
Okay. That's all we use. They never fuck our shit up. Knock on
You're
wood.
shipping T-shirts. They don't give a fuck about little lightweight packages. You fucking ship a fucking goddamn subwoofer, man, and they're like, "I'm gonna lose this." They're like, "I don't want to."
I don't need this. I don't need
Okay.
this.
Well, I mean, instead of wasting shipping them to you and then you ship, like if you just have an order come in, ship me the label, and I'll just drop it off. Make it a lot easier. You know?
Okay, I'll see what we can do.
I'll just unscrew it. I got the boxes. I got everything that goes with it. Rubber boot, all that good stuff. Well, the boots are on. They're just on upside down. The gasket. That's what's not on them right now because they're still mounted on the wood.
Right.
But all the gaskets.
Then you have all the boxes, right?
You have everything. They're just sitting.
So maybe we like if you can take a minute and fucking like if you're like, all right, real quick, I'm gonna take fucking 20 minutes and I'm gonna pull 4 of these and I'm gonna tuck them back in their box and tape them up. You know what I mean? Do that fucking once or twice a week, and then that way they're ready to go. And then if you have it, I'm sure you have a tape gun. Maybe you could tape 2 of them together real good, like in a bundle of 2, typically, because that's usually how that goes.
Okay.
We usually ship 2. But yeah, and then if somebody orders or wants to order them, because we ran out of them a couple weeks ago, and I was like, shit. And I have some V1s, not a whole lot, but like 20 something of them. And I contacted the customer and I was like, hey, let me refund you a couple bucks and send you some V1s. And he was like, fuck it. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's essentially the same. If anything, like the least change of all of the ones that have the new baskets, it's the Relentless 6.5 because it's all the same. It just has a little shorter mounting depth, which changed them a little tiny bit, but it's not significant. So
gotcha. Cool. And another thing I'm gonna have for sale, if anybody's not that I had the 6.5 for sale, but I've got a big battery bank. If anybody's interested in the Shenquan, however the hell you say it, the SQ cells, the little blue ones. Got a 120 amp hour bank. If you want it in the box, battery box, like I have it built in one bank, I'll sell it to you. It's got toolmaker bars on it. I need to figure out a price, but the cells are $28 a piece if you were to buy them new. On let's see how much they are. 28 times 120. So there's $3,360 worth of cells, and then the bars are like $1,000. It's basically $4,400 bank that's been used for one show.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anybody's interested,
Yeah.
I'm having Brad Brad's flying out here on not this Tuesday coming up, but the next one. Just to see the space, because we've been going back and forth on the phone. I'm like, dude, it'd just be way easier if you just came out here for like half a day. I mean, the flight's like an hour, and so I looked it up. It was $39 for a round trip flight.
Well, that's less in gas than to fucking drive to the bay and back. Like, fuck.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So he's gonna come out for a little half day Tuesday, look at the space, and just make sure what I've already told him is gonna fit. And then, I'm going to have a Warpath bank in there that'll do at least 60K, which is, about, I don't know, time and a half stronger than what I have right now. Maybe a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a fucking enormous Warpath battery in Jim's new build. It's 250 amp hour fucking.
Golly.
I wish I could fit something big back there. I just kind of can't.
No, fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck no. God, no. Brad, Nichols, Warpath battery, Warpath energy. Jesus, ass raping Christ. We're just going to have to call him. My aunt called him Mr. Warpath, but then he's really Sergeant Major Warpath is really what his official name is. So, Sergeant Major Warpath, the SMW.
Yeah, okay, so SMW is going to be coming.
He's watching this. He's probably he's smiling so much it hurts and shit. He loves that shit. He's a fucking stud, man. He's a smart dude. And he's studying the shit out of fucking batteries and what they do and why and how fucking current flows and what's going on and why. And he's working his fucking ass off. He's trying really hard. He's trying to fucking take care of a lot of fucking batteries. And I'm like, do that
fucking
shit.
Batteries.
But I can't help you with any extra cases right now, buddy. Fuck, you can't do it.
Oh, man. I fucking hate selling big things like this. They never sell. They're so hard to sell.
I hate selling shit, just
fucking
period.
Jason's over here, he's probably already fucking messaging fucking Sergeant Major fucking Warpath. Hey, man. He's probably all, hey, Sergeant Major Warpath. Fucking,
I'm trying to see your Sergeant Major.
What's up with the 275 amp hour or some shit or something?
Like, what that mouth do?
What do you think are good prices for my battery bank?
So I would say it's fucking used, and it's good sales. But it's fucked up. You go, okay, well, what's retail? So half that. So you have a $6,500, $7,000 battery.
No, retail on that thing is, like I said, $28 a sale. There's 120 of them. It's 33 something, and then the bars are like $1,200 retail, or maybe a little more.
And then you can building a fucking battery like that is worth $1,000 of effort.
Yeah, the bank's built, and then obviously it's got a balancer in the wood and blah blah blah. So yeah, probably 5,500 maybe. So half that,
I think you $2,750. That sounds cheap as fuck. So I would say if somebody gave you 3,500, they're getting a pretty goddamn good deal. And $2,750, they stole that thing out that ass. But
I might be willing to let somebody steal it out of my ass. So
what about they get that ass too, or
send me a message. I mean, it's a great battery. Don't get me wrong. It's just it's going to support like 40,000 watts ish.
Yeah. I think what fucking Sergeant Major Warpath is gonna provide for you. I don't want to say fucking Brad. People think fucking Brad Shuke when you say the name Brad. It's fucked up, man. We cannot have people thinking that fucking Warpath energy has anything to do with that fucking guy.
What he's gonna build is gonna
a little bit of space.
Well, we're gonna try to use more space than what I have. I think I'm going to cut that hump. You know that hump that I had in where my license plate is that I had to cut out of my battery box currently so that my patch would close?
You cut the metal a little bit? Yeah, cut the fucking metal.
Cut that out. My buddy Dan was talking about just 3D printing a little bracket, and then we'll mount some smoked plexi to it. and he thinks that's where I should mount all like mine, because the kicker amps come with these 9 or these they're like Drew probably knows better than me, but it has a bunch of data on it. It's like a little data center type thing. They have a knob, then it also has like a little data center.
You're like, I'm flying him out for a half day.
Yeah, no, not that brand.
Give him a little rub and tug, and he's gonna help me design that shit. I mean, it's not like little kid shit or anything, but you could probably diddle.
What are you talking about?
Warpath, fucking Brad for a little something extra. You could probably talk him into it a little bit. I think he admires that beard a little. He's like, hey.
Hey, what's up with it?
Yeah.
We'll see about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the plate's so full, it's fucking crazy. Yeah, and I started it. I mean, you remember that new job I told you guys I got like a year ago at the Resorts World doing the banquets?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
I'm doing the banquets?
Banquet server at Resorts World.
Okay.
Well, I had my first shift yesterday.
Okay.
And it was pretty fucking cool. I mean, it was easy, and the amount of money they make is fucking ridiculous.
Okay.
For that shift, the pay was $167 an hour.
Damn.
To fucking like bust tables and put a salad down and put a fucking entree down and put dessert down and then bust the table is ridiculous, dude. I mean, I wish I could work there all the time, but being this on the C list, the call list, I get to work like once a month if I'm fucking lucky. So
yeah,
those
pretty cool though.
It was cool,
dude. I mean, and how many hours did you get to work?
I worked like 7 hours yesterday. I mean, like $1,000 fucking.
That's fucking great. Imagine doing that shit 3 times a week.
Dude, the full timers that are doing it 5 days a week, they make like $250,000 a year. So like when you're at if you ever come to Vegas and you go to a banquet and that guy that's serving you your butter, that motherfucker's making $200,000 a year. So
he's killing it.
He's killing it. So while you're in there thinking you're a big shot, this dude's driving a fucking Benz and's got a rollie on his wrist. He's like, "Yeah, what up, dude?
Yeah, he's got his fucking Rolex and his fucking and his Bentley keys are in the fucking locker."
Yeah,
he takes off his like fucking suit that he's working in, and he like puts on a fucking suit that costs 10 times as much, and leaves and pays a valet and fucking drives away.
Yeah, it's kind of silly, dude. I'm like, I can't believe you guys make this kind of money. And yeah, and a lot of them they'll do like, let's say it's like a big convention like Google or some shit, and they have 4 days worth of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So the dudes will work like 6 a.m. to 1 or midnight 4 days in a row. Yeah, those are like $2,500 days. Like they'll make like 10 racks in 4 days. Fucking insane. That's like Vegas for you. That's Vegas. I mean,
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I mean, just keep on fucking like when they call you, just be the dude and keep doing a really good job. You know what I mean? They probably got a fucking list a mile fucking long of people that are trying to be in on that shit.
Oh yeah. The majority of the people are like C-listers. They're just call-ins. Like I guess from what I learned yesterday, most people that work banquets, they're on C-lists at like 10 or 15 different properties because they're only working like 1 day a month or like 2 days a month at each place. So they have to have all these different places. So they're all over the place. And not all of them
what
are
you
as good
do
as you
with your business and with your regular day job.
No,
if you
perfect.
just stay the one, then you'll never let anybody down. And they've been like, hey man, you never said no. And you're like, yeah. And they're like, would you like to be on the B list? And you're like, yes. And they're like, cool. Now you work fucking 1 day a week. And then like, you never fucking let them down with that. And then fucking bam, you're there.
Yeah. If that is something I end up wanting to do, yes. But
well, I mean, like,
yeah,
If you're fucking making $250,000 a year and you're like fucking around with shitting them on the side, and you know what I mean? Like there, that's a fucking thing. I mean,
right. But
It's
if this
not.
thing,
I mean,
if the deal that happened just 4 days ago turns out to just go off crazy, then I'll be doing shitting on them full time. Look, and I won't have another job, I think. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
wieners crossed.
So everybody watching, go buy our shit when it hits the stores.
Jim has not named the truck. Usually the names are really just kind of this organic thing that just kind of happens. And usually Allison names it. So we're just gonna wait until she starts calling it something, and then that's probably it. I had a shitty idea earlier today, and Sergeant Major Warpath made fun of me a little bit, and he was right to do so. So
what's the
calling it the Cookie Monster?
Is it going to be flat black like the Raiden is, or does not know yet what colors?
I don't know. He hasn't got that far yet. He's going to need to have it in his hands before he does any of that shit. But yeah.
Is that going to debut at Slam or no? Not Slam.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh my God. Are there pictures? I'm never on social media to look.
I mean, we haven't posted much pictures. Let me send you guys a couple in the group.
That's Chucky all day tomorrow.
What are you doing again? 8/18s or 12/18s or
9/18s?
9/18s.
9.5/18s.
Oh. You gonna have one water jetted and then like mounted to the side?
That'd be sick.
No, we're only gonna hook up one coil of that one.
Oh. Hell yeah.
All right, so this is how I did that. So whenever I hold on, let me pop these out and make space.
The alternators are gonna be a motherfucker, but we're working on that.
All right.
The battery's pretty fucking easy.
Whenever I first put the new pillars in, I measured everything, and these are the measurements I pulled. This was the response of the mid range, which looks all right ish. So this is playing 100 hertz to 10,000 hertz, is very wide. Let me turn on something just to have a reference. Just give you a reference of what we're looking at.
I'm not gonna make it to Aggieland, so you already know.
Oh, poop.
Flights are like a fucking $1 billion, and I'm like fucking balls deep in like 80 some odd hours a week of work. So
I understand.
Kind of a bummer, but it'll have to happen at some point. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You're good. All right, so I didn't have in the previous installation, I did not have this dip. Let me see right here.
And that dip, you fix that dip with that angle?
Yep. So red is the new 30-degree angle, and this measurement was taken without the foam, so there's a little bit of extra energy up here, but overall it's smoothed out in that whole area. And then
Could you fucking hear that? Could you hear that?
I could tell it wasn't as good. That's why I went looking.
Oh, when you fried it up, you were like, this isn't as good as it was before.
So if you look, the red is the new angle. Yellow in the background, or yellow right here, is the original. Okay. Every extra line is a reflection, basically. So extra reflection. And if I turn it up even more, there's a bunch of extra energy, and I was like, what is going on? Where is this coming from? Well, long story short, I looked at the range because both sides had a null, passenger side and driver side, which they didn't before. They're both like the passenger side was 3,000 ish, the driver side was 3,200 ish, and I did the math. It was about 6 inches. Whatever was causing the reflection was about 6 inches away on the driver's side, about 8 inches away on the passenger side. It was the dashboard because the mids were angled kind of downward, like that.
Yeah,
it was reflecting off the dashboard, causing issues. So
how did you what did you use to move it to keep moving it? Were you just setting it in there at a different angle?
I printed new brackets each time.
Okay.
How many different brackets did you print?
On the driver's side, 2. On the passenger side, I'm on number 3 and 4 printing right now.
Did you think about just making, like, go back to that picture? So this bottom part, I don't have my cursor or whatever, but the angled part, like the crescent or whatever you want to call it, if that was a separate piece.
It used to be.
Okay. So like for testing
this
reasons,
photo, it's separate. But
so then
to
if
get
you were
this much angle,
I
had to I had to redo the whole plate so I could set the mid down into the plate.
I see. Because it dives in a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, but originally, so originally when you had it not as a piece of it, that allowed you to change the angle pretty easily, right?
Yeah, like right here.
You were just kind of spinning it, and it was changing.
Well, luckily, it's so modular that changing the plate is just a matter of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10 screws, something like that. Whole plate comes off. So.
That's dope.
Yep.
What mids and highs are you using again? I don't remember.
These are JL C7 3.5s and ScanSpeak 2904 tweeters right now. But like, I have other tweeters to test at some point over the weekend just to listen to them, already in little brackets. So
is that the picture you just showed us? Is that how it basically is finished before you put the screen on it with all the foam and stuff?
That's how it is right this second. Yeah.
That's crazy that all that foam goes in there and it helps the sound. You would think it would hurt stuff, but
it kills kills all these reflections, all this.
Looks like you have a bit of a shape and texture to the inside of that space behind the foam.
It's like angled.
It looks like I almost see like undulations or something around shit.
I should. No, that's not, but I should. That's a good idea. I should print the plates with. That's a great idea.
With texture?
Yeah, like with big texture, like with big.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. It's a great idea. Consider that done.
Go back to the picture.
Pull back up. Desktop. New folder. Present.
Around the edges, though, Drew, you don't have little angular.
These.
Yeah.
So those were the minimal amount. So the plan was to have the grill be a magnetic thing that sticks to it. So that was space for the magnets.
I see. And those aren't there?
No, the grill it presses in.
It presses in. Okay.
Yeah. And normally that little black piece isn't showing, but yeah, they just press in.
Okay.
So do you think that it is possible to make that smaller and still get what the sound you're after, or is all of that basically have a purpose? Not saying it's too big. I'm just curious.
Once I do all the testing I want to do, I could rebuild the pillar a lot smaller and just make it not modular.
I gotcha.
So if it didn't come apart the way it does, it could shrink a good bit probably, but that's the fun part. Like I could try a whole bunch of different stuff and without having to rebuild whole pillars. When
you take that structure out, like if those drivers are in exactly the spot they're in, and you remove all that surrounding shit and you made this really beautiful, elegant A-pillar, it's completely fucking different.
Yep. Now you would have to simulate.
So it's not going to sound the same.
You could shrink like the width, like you could shrink it. Because you don't want to have to deal with the modular stuff. You would have to maintain the reflection control. So, but yeah, I threw a tune on it a little bit earlier, and I'll probably bring the plates with me for the passenger side because I think its mid range it can be better. I already know it can be better. So
I was like, something's kind of fucking super dumping outside, and it was the monkey box pulling into the parking lot from 100 fucking yards away.
Hell yeah.
But he turned it down before he pulled up. He should have pulled up fucking slamming, shaking my whole shit. It would have been kind of fun. He fucking ruined the whole thing. What a piece of shit.
How dare he?
How dare you?
The fuck? Jesus. Why is he not watching the show? What's he doing driving?
I don't know. Being a fucking cool guy in his fucking show car on a Wednesday night.
Must be nice.
Does he ever drive that thing to work?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he'll take it to the fucking dealership and shit. He'll be all, why you can't play that like that.
I bet I can.
If it was a Hyundai, he's a Hyundai, right?
Yeah, he's at Hyundai.
Yeah.
Oh,
If it was a Hyundai-
is it Hyundai? Is it Kia? Kia?
I thought it was Hyundai when I was
Hyundai.
there.
It is Hyundai.
Yeah.
Jeez, I don't fucking same difference.
Kind of.
Hyundai, Kia.
Both Korean? Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
they
know.
both make
They
cool
might
looking
be-
cars. They're pretty cool. Whatever. You're good.
Except for the new
He's got
Hyundai
electric.
Santa Fe.
He's
Looks
got an
like a-
electric Kia that's fucking really cool looking.
It's a Kia.
Kia?
What's
Kia?
a Kia?
How the fuck do you know, Jason?
It's like, what the? He's like, hold on a second. Well, how do you know?
Pretty sure it's Hyundai. Where is he? Is he coming in or is he just driving by?
I mean, I'm sure he's coming in. He might be across talking to Ant. Ant was in there still working. Anthony got a fucking flat on his fucking 26s that he has on his Navigator that it's got a fucking, 3,000 pound fucking audio system in it. So naturally his wheels are bent as fuck. And so his tire was leaking. And so he's low on air. So then I let him take the van and go and get his stock wheels and bring them over to the fucking tire place across the street. They swapped the tires, and then he took his wheels and hustled them over to the Quicksilver wheel repair place down the street that they're awesome. So he dropped off his 6s over there, and then he got his ass back to work. And I was like, you have to fucking work late and finish a bunch of shit. And he's all, okay. And I'm like, cool. So he's over there still working, and yeah.
Nice.
So I automatically assumed
Eric is the perfect example of white privilege. Like, he's got a really good high paying job, and he like he's a criminal from a long time ago. I'm like, you really? I'm like, wow, I thought I was the only one. I thought part of why I had to be a self-employed is because I have a couple felonies. Oops.
I mean, it'd be like that sometimes.
He was a criminal but never got caught.
No, he got caught.
No, he got that's one of the problems.
Also got
So I think I made the passenger side worse with that new plate.
with the new plate.
Yeah,
because put the plate in.
Well, so what's printing right now to finish later tonight. It's the same angle upward. It just rotates it away from the windshield.
Okay. So you've reached a point of diminishing return with regards to where you were at. So now you're making a secondary adjustment to fucking try to see if that worked. Now, if that fucks it up, then you're lost, right? And you're like, I'm just gonna go back.
Well, then, so if my next attempt doesn't do what I think it'll do, then I'll probably after I drive, because I think I'm gonna drive over to Mobile Toys tomorrow night or something. So Friday when I'm sitting there with Jeff or Chris, whoever, we'll run through it's called Nick's Brain Melter with Max, which is basically you get a bunch of raw data and you can plot measurement. You can plot the reflections in the vehicle using the targets mode. So you can figure out where the reflections are based on distance and all that.
Oh,
you ever tried messing with like lasers and shit?
It just takes a while to do the brain melter thing, so I don't have time right now. But yeah, no, lasers are they're great for whenever you're like doing the initial build or whatever for sure.
But you would have to like mirror the glass somehow though, right? Like to see where it's reflecting to and stuff, or
that type of no, that wouldn't work because these reflections are coming off the side of the speaker. They're like coming off the side, firing to the side, hitting the windshield and coming back, or hitting the dash and coming back up.
So I see some cars like purposely are pointing their speakers at the windshield.
Yeah.
Some aren't.
Okay, so we did this. We did this in a Dodge truck recently.
That's how
relatively recently, where we had the speaker mounted in the factory location, little fucking 3-inch mid, and it sounded like shit, and we couldn't figure it out. And I just kept on. I was like, look, those sound like shit, so I want them to play less sound. And so we kept crossing them over higher and higher and higher. We got all the way to 900 hertz, and it sounded fucking awesome. And so then we had to bring up the 6.5 in the door, and it was up pretty high on the door. Everything sounded fucking good. Then, per some direction from like Jeff Hall-ish and Drew inadvertently, I sunk that driver deeper into the dash, and we put a bunch of fucking foam around it. And then we ended up crossed over. We brought it back down, but then we ended up bringing it back up, and it wasn't happy until we got to about 800 hertz. And I think we ended up staying at about 800 or 820 or some shit like that.
So
and
what he did was
fantastic. But we took away all of the side shit, and we were only using
the reflection off the windshield.
Directional thing. He's like sneaking in, and he's like waving at me, like you guys might see him from right there.
So what I was gonna get at between yo, nice shirt, hell yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good day.
I actually have a meeting with her coming up for 2025.
Very fucking cool.
But the reason I brought that up
meetings about SEMA or no?
I have not got a word back from SEMA yet. I got to start bugging them. I may just call them. But yeah, we'll get on that. But the reason I bring that up is like, is it easier to try to just use the windshield versus
using
trying
reflections
to
are
get rid of like reflections, like use the reflections?
That's exactly
easier. No,
it's just a different way.
It's a different way, and it allows you to turn things up more because you're not scared of hearing the reflection. Because like if you aim everything with your just at you, as you get louder and louder, you start hearing the reflections more and more and more. That's why most SQ vehicles are really quiet. If you're using the reflection as a part of your main source of sound, then it doesn't matter how loud it goes, it's still gonna be the same reflection.
Can you think of a reflection almost like an amplifier or like a?
It can be. So like whenever you're loading off the windshield, there is a zone of constructive reflection where the frequency range does get louder. That's why horns are kind of honky, because it's usually in the 1,000 to 2,000 range where like it gets real amplified because of the distance. Just like that, you spaced off like that.
Thing?
Yep.
So when you said you could get louder when you use the reflections,
because you're not scared of hearing the reflection. Because in an SQ vehicle, if you hear a reflection, it messes up the stage, the imaging, and messes all that up. So they keep them quiet. Vehicles that don't use reflections, that are on axis, they keep them quiet so you don't hear the reflection. You can't possibly hear it.
And yours is, what's yours doing? It's at you, or are you using some of the reflection?
It's both, but mine be considered off axis because it's not aiming at me.
Okay.
So it's the reflection is part of the sound as you tune. So as you get louder, it gets louder too.
So for the most part, and I'm sure this is a little different with some vehicles, but almost every SQ vehicle that I've ever been in, when you fucking get in and every driver is pointed fucking straight at you, which for me, usually it's right above my head. That shit is quiet.
Yep. They almost always are, because as they get louder, you start hearing the reflections from everywhere else, and it messes up the stage.
You know what fucking helps a whole bunch?
Hanging out with the mobile toys guys.
That I'm sure. That is for sure.
It helps.
But rolling the windows down.
I remember a story. There was one guy who tried like hell to do competing with the windows down because there were less reflections.
Fuck yeah. My fucking van sounds so much fucking better with the windows down. I fucking love it. But I always drive with the fucking windows down because I live in California, where I'm not going to freeze to death. So, So anyway, there's that. I've been in a vehicle, and like the guy that like built the vehicle was like 6'1", and he's like, and I was like, he's like, normally it might be a little better if you were up a little higher. I'd be like, I'm just gonna sit on my foot. I'd be
so actually I'm sitting on. So me and Jeff, we bring cushions for people to sit on, especially in my truck, because like the seat doesn't go straight up; it goes like up and at an angle. So I used to have like cheap foam cushions that were kind of hard to get onto, and I'm like, that doesn't feel very nice. I bet judges don't like that. So now I got a purple cushion, weighs like 10 pounds for the seat for people to sit on. Nice
Yeah, because I guess if
quality.
you're a competitor, you got to think about that. You want everybody to sit the same height.
Yep, yeah, yep, that's part of it. That's something you don't think about, right? If you've never done like high level SQ competition, you're not going to think, well, their head needs to be in the same spot my head's in.
Do you have electric seats in your Duramax?
I do, but so as it goes up, the seat goes forward too. It doesn't just go straight up and down. So it goes at an angle, unfortunately.
So you get them as close as you can.
So I just put the seat all the way back. My normal driving position is all the way back, all the way down. I'm big as shit. So it just works for them just to sit on cushion. But here, sit on that cushion, you'll be close enough.
No, you're true.
You should put the lasers not
in
for the speakers that
in their ears.
Put them so that they hit their ears. You go, no. You go sit for it, like sit just right there. There you are. You're in the fucking spot, bitch.
Yeah, it's like a little
use a little headband strap for the headrest. Be like, you're not moving.
It's like that little ball
one of those fucking crown assemblies for people that just had fucking neck surgery, and it's got the fucking screws that go into their skull, and they're all
yeah. Okay, you ready? and then you
tighten them in, and it's all clamped on. They're all okay, all right. And you're like, you're gonna listen to this whole fucking song.
Yeah, that's
bam, Lamb of God, just fucking send it. They're all crying and shit.
What you do, Drew, is get like one of those hockey helmets. It's just the top and a visor, and then you have that like bolted to your headrest, and they stick their head in that.
And you gotta have hella foam on it, so you don't create any extra reflections. So it's like it's fucking.
It's all foamed out.
I'm heavy and shit. I'm gonna print one tonight.
Oh, dude. What if that was allowed? That'd be dope. All of a sudden, you just start scoring the highest ever. And now everybody's building helmets for their fucking cars.
Right.
You could fucking cheat. You could like tuck little speakers in the helmet, and they're like, "Oh my goodness,
it sounds like it's in my head." It's centered on my brain.
A little mouth guard that's got little fucking speakers in it, and they can fucking hear it. They're like, "Oh."
That's right.
Dude, this guy I work for, he's got these Bose sunglasses where the speakers go like behind your ear, like right here.
Yeah, but it's not even a speaker. It just touches the bone and you can fucking hear it, but it doesn't actually broadcast. And it's like fucking weird.
It's just like it's got a little dip on the back of the ear, and that's where it goes. It doesn't go in your ear.
You do that, you got like a fucking 6.5-inch subwoofer on each side.
Now we're talking.
A fucking 70-pound helmet.
Bone transducer.
Yeah. You ready? You ready for your demo?
Fucking bone transducer. That sounds dirty.
Yeah. Well, so once I'm gonna be home Monday afternoon, Monday night probably, and I think Tuesday I'm gonna go drop the old Tahoe off with Ryan. I'm gonna go have lunch with him and then go drop that thing off, and then start praying to figure out the wagon. Porcelain. Send help.
Are you gonna send us wiener pics, Blake?
Again?
I mean, shit, I didn't get any yet. I've been waiting.
Blake's gonna be at Aggie. He's gonna be hanging out with us all weekend. I don't know if he knows it yet or not, but he didn't have a choice. He's officially invited
I wish I was going to fucking
to the pre-party.
Like, fucking flights would be like fucking $3,000 as of like a week ago. I'm like, I'm not going. So, and if I wasn't like slammed with shitloads of work and I could be gone from the fucking shop for like 5 days, me and Allie would hop in the van and fucking drive down and hang out and drive through cool spot and go look at the Grand Canyon and do the fucking whole thing. But because we talked a little bit and she's like, I'm like, yeah, that'd be fucking fantastic. But we got like, I don't know, like way too much fucking work to do to fuck around and be gone. There's just a lot. So,
yeah, I feel that.
But I'm fucking stoked. I fucking love it. You guys are fucking amazing. I love that I have a massive demand for the fucking services that we provide. I am ecstatic. And I'm working super hard to fucking take care of everybody.
Man, it'd be stressful sometimes.
This shit is hard, man. It's just fucking hard. I wake up at like fucking 3:45 and 4 a.m. and my alarm is going off at 4:30 and I'm just gonna go ahead and get up because like no.
I stayed up late, like 4 something last night. I slept till like 11. I'm like, what a fucking bum. You know, I got 6 hours of sleep. What a bum.
Yeah, I've never been a morning person. I always stay up late and wake up.
Same.
Well, I don't wake up late, but I don't wake up early like that. I'm usually up by 7:30. But I don't go to bed.
I've always
till
been one to stay up late. Just always.
Yeah.
I've always been both. Where I will fucking sleep till 6:30 or I will wake up at fucking 3:30 and I can work until fucking 2 a.m. if I need to and still fucking get my ass to work at 6 or 7 a.m. and I'm good. But like there was a period of time back when
he means 7:30
I
a.m.
remember I can't remember what the fucking terminology is called, but when I first started Gately Audio in like 2000, which was a long time ago. I was building speaker boxes in my garage, and I had a fucking router table and a table saw and a workbench and a bunch of fucking bandsaw and shit. And I would just work my ass off in there, and I would work using all the loud power tools and vacuums and all the shit throughout the day. And then at night, I would make chemical bonds. And I would be fucking chemically welding all these acrylic boxes together and cleaning up the shop quietly and fucking drilling and tapping holes and doing shit like that. And getting online and talking to people on the audio forums on Sound Domain and Term Pro and shit like that. Way the fuck back, right? But I didn't realize I was doing it. But for about a 6-month period of time, I was on, and I can't remember what the terminology is called, but it was that weird sleep schedule where I would sleep like 20 minutes or 30 minutes at a time, like 4 or 6 times a day. And that's it.
That's crazy.
But like I would be like, I'd be working in the shop and I would get a bunch of shit done and I'd be like, all right, cool, I'm at a good stopping point. And I'd be like sweaty as fuck and covered in acrylic dust and shit. And I'd blow myself off. I'd go inside and I'd take a shower and I'd jump in bed. And I'd like, and I would sleep for a little while and I'd wake up and be like, oh, I'm good to go. And I'd get up and I'd go out and I'd like play video games for a little while, put my fucking PlayStation controller down and fucking go out in the garage and work some more and do some more stuff and be like, all right, I got to get this much shit done before like 9 o'clock at night before I fucking piss off my neighbors running a fucking table saw. So I'd be making cuts, routering shit. And then I'd be like, all right, cool. It's like 9 or 9:15. I'd finished all the shit I could do. I'm going to go get myself cleaned all up. About that time, my girlfriend that I had at the time be about ready to go to bed. I'd go do the wild thing, blah, 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 or take a shower, do the wild thing, take another shower, whatever the fuck, take a nap. And then I'd go back out and work on shit again. Okay. That looks fun.
I think I've seen this movie before.
Yeah.
What?
I like the little cans.
Fucking tweeter. Fucking write it in your middle of your forehead.
Bro.
Yeah,
Somebody got paid a week or 2 worth of labor to do this.
That's brilliant.
I love it.
I'd love it if it works. So maybe it does work.
Right to the back of your fucking head.
3.5 seconds, sir. What's this amateur hour? I'm asleep while I'm on the way down.
Dude, I fucking wish, man. Sometimes it takes me a fucking minute. What's fucked up is sometimes I'm out like a motherfucker, but I'll tell you, if I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm up for a fucking couple hours sometimes. I mean, I'll get up, take a and go back to bed sometimes, but usually I'm just up.
Brandon gets mad at me because I fall asleep immediately. As soon as I'm in the bed, I'm out.
Man, that's fucking awesome.
Have you guys ever heard of have you ever heard of second sleep? You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like the way, I guess, supposedly a large population, if not most people, used to sleep before electricity. You'd sleep like from after dinner to like midnight, and then from midnight to like 3 or 4 in the morning, you'd get up, and that's like when supposedly you got your best work done. You could think the clearest. People would have sex, all kinds of different things, and then from 4, and then you sleep again for your second sleep, another 4 hours. So basically, like split your 8 hours in two, and it's the way it was very common.
I do that shit 2 or 3 times a week.
I think that's why a lot of people do that, because it's just kind of
Yeah.
the way
So a lot of times what happens to me is I wake up, it'll be fucking midnight or 2 a.m. or something, and I'll get up, and I'll wake up, and I'll be like, fuck, man, I'm up, I'm awake. And I'll sit up in bed, and I will like visualize the design process of shit I'm gonna build.
Dude, I do that all. I do that too. I'll lay there just thinking of shit, thinking of ways to do shit, and then I hype myself up enough to get up and go do.
I'll sit in the darkness with my eyes closed. I have one of my cats. One of my cats sleeps like on her own like little pillow right next to my pillow, and I'll fucking sit there and I'll start petting her. Her name's Geisha, and she'll fucking purr hella loud. And I just sit here and pet her and close my eyes, and I'll just imagine like, all right, this is how I'm gonna fucking design this sketch, and then I'm gonna extrude the part, and I'm gonna fucking modify these holes, and I'm gonna do all of this shit to, that's how I'm gonna fucking build this thing. So sometimes when like somebody's here talking to me and I'm fucking designing something, and they're like, God damn, dude, you're fast, and I'll be like, yeah, I fucking thought about this for 3 hours last night.
Yep.
And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I fucking thought this process through fucking two dozen times.
The whole thing in my head. I ran through the whole thing.
Yeah. Like I got 3 hours of work into this fucking thing, and so
That's right.
it took me 20 minutes while I had a whole conversation with you, because I was just following the protocol of how to make.
That was already parts in my head. So I've done research on sleep and stuff before, because I've never slept a normal schedule, and there's a subset of people who are just always or they are awake at night, and scientists believe it traces back to like not prehistoric, but early days, before electricity, before a lot of things. There was always the people who would stay up at night to watch everybody else. So so ancestors of those people were the ones who just prefer to be up at night. And I was like, that kind of makes sense. Someone's got to stay up and watch for the tigers.
When I was a kid in like junior high and high school, and I was like racing remote control cars, I would go to bed pretty fucking early, 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and I would wake up at midnight or 1 o'clock. And I would get up and I would wrench on fucking RC cars in the middle of the night. I'd be like, can't sleep, sit up, grab my toy car, sit there, glue fucking tires, take my shit apart, fix it, and then like, put it all away and have it all ready and put the shit next to the fucking door. And then I'd take a fucking shower and go to bed and sleep like 3 hours from like 3 to 6, and then get up to go to school or go racing or whatever the fuck I was doing. I've literally done shit like that literally my whole fucking life.
That's just how you be.
Even when I worked as a service engineer at the biotech company, when I was, 21 to 23 years old, before I started Gately Audio, my boss was like, all right, look, you can start working at, 5 or 6 a.m. or you can start working at 10 a.m. As long as you're getting like all of the work done that needs to be done, you're good. And I would average, probably the entire time that I worked at Cyphergen Biosystems, I probably averaged 65 hours a week working.
You worked the night shift, bro. Chill out.
I worked a lot. And so what was really cool about that job is, even though like I was making like 18 or 19 bucks an hour. Now, mind you, this is in the fucking mid 90s, so that wasn't so bad. Even when I was on airplanes, they paid me by the hour, and I got overtime past 8 hours and double time past 12. So there would be lots of days where I would have, 24 hours, 26 hours, 25 and a half hours, and I would get all that double time, and my boss would sign off on that shit. He's like, that's where you make your big money. Because like normally somebody doing the job that you have gets paid a fucking huge salary, but you're way too young for anybody to consider you doing that. So he made it work, and he was fucking cool. So that's I mean, I've literally always been that way. I'm more consistent now because I have to be here all fucking day. I pretty much have to be here when everybody shows up to get started, and I have to be here at the end of the day when everybody takes off. And I have guys that are starting at 7 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. So one guy, he's like the box builder guy, and he fucking shows up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. And I like to be here when he's here, but I'm not always here when he's here. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The only reason I like to go to bed at a normal hour is just going to super cranky. That's it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'd rather be up at night.
Yeah, and you probably should make a habit of going to bed with her at fucking bedtime, and then even if you get back up
I do.
an hour
No,
or
I
two
do.
later. Yeah.
I try to go to bed with her, rubber butt, do all the stuff, and then I get back up once she's snoring.
Yeah.
I'll either work on my computer or nights whenever I normally I'm tired. My brain's like, you're done with math for the day. I'll go do shop stuff at that point.
Yeah.
So like
there are some times when I'm here, especially after we do the show. Sometimes I like fucking wander over and like I'm getting ready to leave. I'm putting my jacket on and shit, and I look and I'll be like, that print's got 27 minutes left.
every time you're like, I'll just wait.
I'm gonna wait. I go take a leak, clean up, try to organize my desk. And I'll tell you, there are times when I'm fucking tired after a 13-hour day that I'm like, I'm gonna organize my desk, and I get done, and it's way worse than it was before I fucking started.
Bro, I swear to God, I did that this week. I got a little toolbox. I keep a couple little tools on the desk. I got a little toolbox. I made everything worse. So now I'm irritated with it, and I don't want to mess with it.
You ever take a tool out of the box so many times that you're like, I'm just gonna leave it out of the box, and as soon as you think I'm just gonna leave it out of the box, it fucking sits unused for fucking 5 days. The box is literally right here. And fucking 4 or 5 days ago, I had taken this motherfucker out of its fucking fancy little case right here, like 7 times in like a 3-hour time frame. And I was like, I'm just gonna leave it out. And I'm pretty sure the time that I said I'm just gonna leave it out was the last time I used it.
That's just thing. I'll leave it out and won't use it. Put it up. I need it 20 minutes later.
Capitelli.
Well, fellas,
Plastic one.
I'm gonna hop off here. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go watch Tracker with Brandy, and then before I get back into work later on the night.
Yeah,
Gentlemen.
I gotta eat.
Yeah, I'm starving like I'm gonna die. So I fucking love you guys, and I will look forward to doing this again next week. And the rest of you guys fix your fucking engine noise. And I love you guys too. You guys are the shit. And be nice to people.
I'm gonna drop a link in the.
Actually, just go. Everybody should just get on the internet and pick somebody to talk shit about and make a whole shit show post.
I just dropped a link into the chat.
Up a little bit.
I dropped a link into the chat. I have a 24-hour live stream of the inside the shop going. It's on hour 12 currently. It's unlisted, so you'll have to click that link if you want to watch. But at some point tonight, you'll see me out there.
I should do that in my fucking install bay.
I have it set up just so I can watch the shop easier. I have it set up just so I can watch the inside of the shop easier. Like watch the printers and stuff.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, guys. Have a nice night. See you next week.
Okay, love you. Bye.